In early 2021, I launched the Publishing Accelerator, which is the low and no content publishing course, and I wanted to make it the most comprehensive low and no content publishing course available. Having sold over 30,000 books over the last couple of years, I wanted to bring together all of that knowledge and experience and even some of the mistakes that I've made so I could create a course that was an easy step-by-step process for students to be able to learn and implement so they could actually scale their own self-publishing business. Now, if you haven't been to my channel before, my name's Romney. Welcome. Thank you very much for jumping on and watching this video. Now, what I wanted to do is provide you with a bit of a sneak peek of what some of the lessons are, how I teach, and maybe that will resonate with you, so it's something that you might look at buying yourself. The course, remember, is about self-investing into your own resources and your own knowledge to be able to expand your self-publishing and create a passive income stream which can not only pay you day to day, but for years to come. So what I'm going to do, I'll show you approximately 90 minutes of free content from the course. Now remember, this course does contain over 55 lessons, over 11.5 hours worth of content, and it includes lessons about Amazon ads, there's niche research videos, there's book creations, there's even diversification, different tools you can use to scale your publishing business, ways that you can increase your income outside of KDP as well. So there are many different things that this course teaches you that you'll become very knowledgeable about. So let me get into the free preview now, and I'll add some further information at the end of this video about how you might be able to get a further discount as part of this course. Hi, my name's Romney, and thank you for officially joining the Publisher Accelerator Low and No Content Publishing course. I'm very excited to have you here because I want to share my experience of creating over 350 books and resources, both on KDP, but at other platforms like IngramSpark. Both of them have global distribution opportunities. Now, self-publishing isn't just about creating books and resources. It is a wonderful way to develop a great passive income, but also a long-term business that you can create and be able to work online from anywhere you want in the world. Now, this course will contain a lot of different lessons. There's going to be modules or lessons that can help you just to get started. So no matter whether you're on your first book or you've created 20 or 30 books, there's going to be lessons and opportunities in here that you can learn from. Now, this course will go into depth as well in regards to marketing, launch plans, Amazon advertising as well, but also some other key features which are going to be really important as part of your long-term plan. So I greatly appreciate you purchasing this course, being part of it, and the good thing is that at any time you can reflect back on the lessons and take some more notes and learn as you go along. So thanks again, and I look forward to creating and having an opportunity to be able to share my knowledge and content with you as part of this course. And welcome to the Publishing Accelerator dashboard. In this lesson, I'm just going to quickly run through how you can access each of the lessons and navigate your way through this platform. So you'll see up here, you've got the percentage completion of your course so far. Each of the sections has a drop down. So if you're looking at the introduction to Publisher Accelerator, then what you do is you can scroll down, and each video you've got a little button there, and you can click on this and it'll be ticked off once you complete that lesson. As you can see, this section here has 9 different lessons, and you can scroll down further. For example, the Advanced Strategies to Scale, that's got 7 different lessons about it, but each of the sections is split into different videos. Some have 1 video, some have up to 11 videos. This bonus information has 20 different resources and documents that you can download. There's free interiors, there's different revenue trackers, there's calculators, there's niche keyword trackers, there's links to software, there's a copyright page template, and I've also included a time management and organization bonus course. So I've included that for free, and you've got 6 different lectures as part of that if you would like help with your time management and organization. There's also a frequently asked questions document, so I've put that together for you. And also there's a special Join the Publisher Accelerator students only YouTube channel where I want to make it interactive, where you can ask questions and we can have comments that are part of that community. There's also one extra section there where I'll be adding new lessons that'll be coming soon. So it's going to be a live course. New lessons will be added frequently, and you can check those out as you participate in the course. Remember, come back to the course as often as you like, take notes, and you can work through each of the sections or the modules at your own speed. So that's just an overview of the Publishing Accelerator platform, and I look forward to having you participate in the course, providing feedback, and being part of the Publishing Accelerator community. Hello and welcome. My name is Romney, and thank you very much for joining me for the Publishing Accelerator Low and No Content Publishing course. I'll be your teacher, your mentor, your coach as you go through this course, and I want to be able to help you to self-publish and to expand your publishing, not just at KDP, but well beyond to global distribution markets. This course, I believe, is the most comprehensive self-publishing course for low and no content out there. So I look forward to sharing with you all the information, all the skills, even the mistakes that I've made to help you to scale. So let me get into what the content of this course is and what you're going to learn as part of the Publishing Accelerator. And welcome to the course. I'm very excited about showing you all the different features that you'll get as part of the Publishing Accelerator, because I truly believe that it's the most comprehensive low and no content publishing course out there. So let's jump into the content that you'll get when you enroll and be part of this course. And the course is split into 15 different sections, plus there's a bonus time management course as well. And in addition to that, plenty of resources to download. So section 1 is the course welcome, a bit of background about me, what my journey's been like. Section 2, an introduction to KDP, the business model, the pros, the cons, making sure that you are fully aware of how the business model works for publishing. Section 3 is about account creation, streamlining this so you can easily create an account for KDP. Section 4, a very important one about niche research. It's the one that where most people have a lot of difficulties finding profitable niches, so we do a deep dive into that. Book cover creation, either creating it yourself, outsourcing it, what aspects you need to get right to create a fantastic book cover. Interior creation, again, either creating it yourself, outsourcing it, or even finding ready-made interiors and how to go about that. Section 7 is about titles and subtitles. If you don't get the titles and subtitles right, then your book won't rank. So you need to make sure that that course, or that section, is really followed closely. Section 8, book descriptions. A customer might click on your book, love your book cover, but they may not purchase it if they don't like what's in the book description. I go into a lot of detail about how to create book descriptions, and I provide you with a template to be able to work through that structure. Section 9, keyword research, making sure that we get the right keywords in the back end of KDP and any other platforms that we're loading our book to as well. Section 10, KDP book categories. We need to make sure we get as many categories as connected to our book and more customers can find it that way. Section 11, an exciting part of the journey is the KDP upload process, but is also the pricing. We look at what pricing structure is important for your book. Section 12 is broken into many different sections, including my launch strategy. It's the first time I've ever released my launch strategy, and I wanted to have it as part of this course, an exclusive look at what my launch strategy is for my low and no content books. Amazon advertising is section 13. Lucky 13, hopefully for many people. So Amazon advertising broken into 11 different lessons, and that outlines all the things that you need to know, and also making sure you keep on budget and reduce your spend, but be as profitable as you can with your advertising. Section 14, advanced strategies to scale. So not just looking at KDP as a way to be able to generate income through self-publishing, but also what other distribution channels are available to you to scale, and also what software will help you to accelerate. What can you use to save time and to save money? Section 15 is summary about the course information. Then there's the bonus time management course and our resources. But let me just highlight a couple of key features of this course that I think are important for you. And as I mentioned, I believe this course is going to be the most comprehensive low and no content publishing course that you've ever seen. It's got 50 plus lessons of content to teach you everything you need to know. And there'll be more lessons that will be added over the journey. There are already 20 templates and resources that are created that you can download and use as well. There are lessons on scaling beyond KDP to a global market, so incorporating diversification. There's 11 lessons focused on Amazon advertising, and I know that can sometimes be a pain point for many people. And then finally, I wanted to make it affordable so that everyone has the opportunity of learning what I can provide as part of this course. So this is a course for you. If you really want to accelerate your KDP publishing and go global, this course will provide everything you need to know. So I look forward to having you as part of the journey of the Publishing Accelerator. So I'd like to give you my official welcome to the beginning of this course and the beginning of a new journey for you. This course is going to be a wonderful way for you to learn the ways of self-publishing with KDP, but not just KDP, because I'm going to actually teach you a number of different things that you can do to expand your self-publishing business. So yes, KDP is going to be a large component and focus of this course, but it's not the only thing that we're going to be covering in regards to growing your business, growing self-publishing beyond KDP to other platforms, and to expand your horizons and your opportunity to generate more income. So why is this course unique? Well, I come from a unique set of circumstances where I was initially a teacher for about 10 years. And so I know the best methods to be able to extract the best out of you as a student, and also to encourage you, but also the right teaching methods to make the steps nice and easy. And this course is unique because it's being delivered by someone that's gone through the process, that has actually officially published a book with a leading publisher, a global publisher, but someone that's now gone into creating their own books, creating their own publishing journey, and having sold well over 20,000 books already as part of my journey, and that's only accelerating. So I'm going to bring my unique techniques, the skills, and everything I've learned to this course. I want it to be a great course that you can use over and over again to learn the skills, and I want it to be an ever-evolving course. And it's going to be like a living organism. I don't want it to die. I want it to be living and evolve as KDP evolves as well. So I really hope that you enjoy this course. I want it to be unique, and I want everything that I deliver to be powerful and to be something that you can take away and learn from and implement. So I really, really hope you enjoy this course. So before we get any further into the course, I just wanted to provide you with a bit of an overview about why I've felt that publishing has been the perfect opportunity for me. Now, previously I was a teacher for 10 years, and then I've actually worked in a number of executive positions as well. But what I've found with the publishing is that it's unlimited, it has unlimited potential in the number of books I can create, resources I can create, but then it's expanding that into different areas of business as well, such as coaching and providing courses and things too, which as a teacher, I've been able to sort of lean on my experience as a teacher to be able to bring together information and hopefully break it down into easy steps that people can understand. But the business model of publishing has allowed greater freedom for who I am and what I want to do as well. And it's a great passive income stream. So I consider my books as little assets. When I create the assets, then I put them to work. And the good thing is that platforms like KDP do all the heavy lifting for me. They do most of the work. Once I've created the book and I've loaded it up, of course I need to do some marketing and things to make sure people are aware of my books. However, all the printing, the distribution, everything like that is taken care of by somebody else. And I enjoy that element of it. I'm not getting heaps of phone calls about things or heaps of emails about different things. I can actually focus on the creation side. And as the business is getting bigger, I can then provide opportunities for other people to be part of the business as it grows as well. And that's something that I'll enjoy doing. So I just wanted to give you a quick little insight about why I've enjoyed publishing, why I think that I've got a lot of growth within the publishing industry, and I've actually got opportunities beyond just publishing from the experiences that I'm now getting to create the courses and other resources that can help people like yourself grow and create your own future. Whether that remains in publishing, whether you're going to do other elements that you can use your experience through publishing. But that's what I do like about this. And I wanted to just give you this information before you went further into the course so you could actually get a feel about why I felt that publishing has been the best choice that I've made for many, many years. It's been something that I've felt really passionate about because it's the opportunity to be able to help more people. And it's not just based on my locality of where I'm living. It's not just based on one single language. You can actually create books and resources across various different languages as well. And that's something where, go back a number of years, you couldn't have that opportunity of being able to expand for a business from your home office and be able to travel and still work if you have a laptop on hand. So there we have it. I just wanted to share this information with you. I felt it was important and get a bit more of a background about me as well. So I hope you continue to enjoy this course, and there's a lot of information that you're going to learn along the journey. So welcome to this section of the course where we're talking about the business model of KDP Publishing. Now it's important when we go through this section to have a look at actually how the business model of KDP works for both the author and the customer and for Amazon KDP themselves. So let's look at the introduction. Now you may be familiar with how KDP works, but for those that aren't, let me take you through the process. So with print on demand, or POD as they call it, printing on demand means that when a customer purchases your book, that book is printed either on that day, the next day, or possibly a couple of days later. Gone are the days where books used to be printed and they used to sit in warehouses. Amazon also takes care of all the distribution. So as the author, you provide the digital asset, being the book, that sits with Amazon. When a customer purchases your book, that book is then printed and distributed to the customer. Now, Amazon is what they would almost call the one-stop shop in regards to self-publishing. So once you load up your digital asset, they take care of the payments from customers. They'll look after the logistics in regards to the delivery and ensuring that your product is packaged correctly. They also take care of customer service. So when a customer might have an issue with your book, needs a return, they will take care of that as well. and you receive a payment from Amazon every 60 days following the end of the month. For example, if you sold 10 books in the month of January, then you would receive your payment at the end of March. So it's a 60-day period or a cycle. Now, the creator receives a royalty payment. You don't receive the full amount of the book that you sell. For example, if the book was $9.99, then Amazon would have to take away the printing and the distribution costs as part of that. Then there is a 60-40 split between 60% to the author, 40% to Amazon as it currently stands. And when you create, say, a $9.99 book, depending on the size, how many pages, for example, you can expect to probably get around about a $2.50, maybe $2.75 royalty per book sold. Now, what are low and no content books, and how do we differ between them? So, no content examples. You've got notebooks, journals, blank scrapbooks. So it's books that you would normally have blank interiors with. And then you've got low content examples, so colouring books, workbooks, logbooks, where you've got more detail. Further to that, you do have high content books. And high content books, think about books that might have 10,000, 30,000, 100,000 words. They're high content books. This course will be about no and low content books. So we need to have an understanding of what they are, because no content books, there's a different way that we take care of them in regards to the marketing, and the same with low content, and even in the way that we do niche research as well and keyword research. So it's important to know the difference between the two. So how does the cycle work, or the process of KDP? When you're doing your self-publishing, the first start is your niche research, and it's actually finding a niche that you need to go into. Now, I had challenges when I first started doing my niche research, because I was finding that I wasn't probably going for the right niche selection. I was going for niches that might have been too competitive. They were probably niches that interested me more. However, they probably weren't the right niches because they were too saturated. So once you choose your niche, you can then start to do the book creation and creating that element of it. The next component is the upload process and uploading your book to KDP, which I'll show you all about. And the next element is, of course, the marketing. And there's too many people that might think that they can load their book to Amazon and then expect sales to come in. Now, that may happen, but the likelihood of it without marketing is quite low. So you need to ensure that you're doing the marketing. So that is the cycle of KDP: your niche selection, your book creation, the upload process, and the marketing. And so that gives you a really good indication of what you need to do, or the process that's involved with no and low content self-publishing. And so what are the pros and cons to KDP? Well, there are several for both, and I think it's important that we actually do an overview of these so you know what to expect when you're doing your publishing for KDP. So the pros are, it's free to upload, which is incredible. It means that you do not need to outlay any money regarding uploading your book or purchasing an ISBN. And an ISBN is the identification number that each book has, and in most circumstances you do need to purchase an IBN. So it is free to upload. So therefore there is very limited limitations to be able to create books and load them to KDP to start. You can create free books. So the techniques I'm going to be teaching you, you can use those free techniques to load your books to KDP or create your books, You have global distribution. So the power of Amazon KDP means that you do have that ability to distribute your book or your books globally, which is incredible. So you may live in America. However, you can distribute your books to Germany, to France, to Italy, to Australia, to Canada, and the UK, for example. There are many other areas, including Japan as well. So you do have the opportunity to distribute your books globally. As I mentioned in the previous slide, Amazon do all the heavy lifting. So they'll do all of the logistics and customer service and printing and postage. So that's incredible. There's no limit to growth. You can create as many books as you like. There is no limit. You just have to ensure that they're good quality books and that you create those books with a long-term mindset. It also is a wonderful passive income stream. So once you create your digital assets, you can then load them up and they become an income stream for a long, long time. Now, depending on the kind of book you create, it might be a book that sells at certain times of the year, or it might be a long-term book that sells organically throughout the whole year. So let's now look at the cons. What are the cons in regards to publishing with KDP? Well, there is a delayed result from the effort that you put in. And I remember when I was doing my first 3 months on KDP, I hardly sold a book, and I was wondering whether all the effort that I put in was actually going to result in creating or to actually get income from the books that I was spending so much time in the creation process. And because it is free to upload books, there is an increase in competition. And therefore, you need to be aware that quality will end up winning rather than quantity. Your book needs to stand out, but that is increasing competition because of the ability to do the free upload. As you can, you'll see when I talk about my journey, the sales can fluctuate a lot. There's definitely doesn't seem to be consistency, but once you build up a good portfolio of books, you do start to generate that consistency of sales, and that is important as part of the process of growing a business. Next point is there's no guarantee of success. And I just want to highlight that I can teach you everything in this course, but there is no guarantee of success with KDP. You can put in the effort, you can put in the work. Sometimes your books just don't sell. You may be doing elements of it incorrectly, but you need to give yourself a chance. And I'll be talking, there's a lesson about the mindset of publishing, which I'll talk about how you should position yourself and the way that you need to think when you're doing low and no content publishing. Finally, you could make 300-400 books, 1,000 books. All that effort could come undone if you lose your account. So protect your account. Make sure you follow the terms and conditions that Amazon KDP outline. They do change, but just do whatever you can to hold on to your account, because there are plenty of authors that have lost their account just by making an error of judgment, or there could be elements of their book creation process that they haven't done accurately. So just make sure that you look after your account. And I'll be talking about the importance of diversification when you create your KDP business as well. So they're the pros and cons of publishing with KDP. Welcome to the next lesson. It's about establishing the right mindset for publishing. Establishing the right mindset is critical in regards to the long-term prosperity of your business. Now, these kinds of things aren't normally included in courses, but I wanted to provide this information and this content because I know what I went through in regards to establishing my KDP business and the journey that I went through, particularly in the first few months, where I wasn't actually generating many sales. Now, it can be quite demoralizing when you've put in all your hard work and you're not seeing those initial results. And that's why it's important, where I wanted to give you my support as part of this course to know that I experienced the same things that you're likely to experience when you first start your KDP publishing business. As I mentioned, the KDP business model doesn't always give you immediate results. It can take a few weeks and a few months even to start to generate sales as your books start to get traction, as you can start to get organic sales and even sales through marketing your books as well. But it can take time. And I remember when I was sitting in my office, I'd been publishing for 2.5, 3 months, and I think I'd sold 4 books. And that was a really, really difficult time in my self-publishing journey. I wasn't sure if all the effort that I was putting in was actually going to generate any sales, whether it was something that I was able to do for the future, because ideally I wanted to create this self-publishing business so I could actually leave my full-time 9-to-5 job. And when you go through the journey of publishing, you're going to hit some roadblocks and you're going to hit some pretty tough times. And what I ended up doing was I did a voice recording at the end of every month. And that was a great reflective tool at the end of the year to think back about the challenges that I came up against and the things that I was going to change for the following year. So developing the right mindset from the very beginning is important, and you can do that by establishing publishing goals and knowing realistically what you're likely to expect. Now, you might feel that you're going to start publishing and sell 1,000 books in the first week. Well, that would be great if it happens for you, but those that it doesn't happen to, well, you know that I've been there as well. And it is very, very challenging, but it is very, very rewarding at the same time. The books that you're creating are also providing a positive impact to many people across the globe. And so you need to keep that in front of mind. And you also need to have the long-term mindset of what you're going to achieve. You're going to be feeling at some points in time that you should just give up. You should stop. You're not seeing the sales. But it could be your next book. That could be the breakthrough moment. And as I say, it could be the last 3 feet, where it's the miner that is mining for gold and they feel like they shouldn't go anymore. But the gold is only 3 feet away. But if they had stopped, they would never have found that gold. And plenty of miners would have walked away from mines in the past where they were only 3 feet away from hitting or striking luck with their gold. And I don't want you to stop with your publishing business if you feel that you're not getting anywhere, because it happens to the majority of self-publishers when they first start, that they feel that they should be getting more sales than they are, but persist and learn and evolve and continue, because it is very, very rewarding when you do start to see those sales coming through, and think of it as a long term. So maybe give yourself 12 months and say, look, I'm going to do this for 12 months and I'm going to see what happens. No matter if I don't sell any books, I've given it a go. I haven't just stopped after 2 months or 6 months or 8 months. I've given it 12 months to see if this is a journey that I want to continue on. So this was just a lesson about the expectations to set for yourself in regards to self-publishing. And I'm going to share with you in a moment my journey of KDP, so that will give you a bit of a perspective about where I'm coming from. Welcome to this lesson about my journey on KDP. And I wanted to share this journey with you so you know what is possible and what is likely in the first 3 to 6 months of when you first start your KDP publishing business. So let's have a look at my journey. Well, I've been very fortunate to sell over 10,000 books on KDP since March 2020. And that is something which I'm very, very proud about. And my journey continues to expand. Now, in this course, we're going to be talking about different ways you can market and sell your books. So KDP alone isn't the only marketplace I sell my books. In fact, I've sold well over 20,000 books now on different platforms, including KDP. But let me show you how my journey started. When I first started, it was approximately December 2019. But I'm going to show you the first 12 months and then, or a bit over 12 months, to show you what can happen. So when I first started, I had a couple of rough months. And in March, I started to sell my first 3 or 4 books, and it had been pretty challenging. Then my numbers started to grow as I began to learn all about KDP publishing. Now, it dropped off a little bit, but you can see that the growth towards what we call quarter 4 really started to happen around about October, and you can see that growth. Now that growth there it was around about $8,500, $9,000 of books that I sold in December 2020. In comparison to when I first started, I was on 0. So that was a great result for me. Now, of course, there's a big drop off after December because of Christmas, and you end up getting a few less sales. But you can see how numbers in comparison to the same period the previous year. So in March 2021, if you come back here, it's significantly more. Again, in April, it's a lot more. May was another really good month as well, and you can see the growth. So I'm expecting a very successful quarter 4 for 2021, and you need to remain confident in your ability to generate the sales. Now, what can you expect? Well, this was my royalties after 3 months of publishing on KDP. And this is my dashboard, and you can see I had a flat line for the first 30 days. Then I had my first book sale in the beginning of February. Then the sales were a bit like a heartbeat. I had some areas where I thought things weren't going so well, or they weren't going very well. Then they would spike. Then they'd drop down, and then they'd spike again. So from the period of January 1 to March 30, I made a total of $100. And also consider that I was advertising during this time as well. So I hadn't made $100 profit. What in fact had happened is I'd made $100 in royalties, but I'd spent about $400 to $500 in marketing, so I was behind by about $500. But that, if you were just to stop at that point in time, if you said, right, I've had enough, I've lost money, if you'd been advertising, and after 3 months I thought, that's it for me, I don't want to go anymore. Well, what I would have missed out on would have been this. This is my royalties from October the 1st to December 23, 2020. And you can see the growth that started to happen during that period of time. Now, of course, this is the drop-off just before Christmas, but you can see the royalties just over that 3 months was $11,000 compared to my first 3 months of $100. If I'd given up after 3 months, or even after 6 months, or even after 8 months, I would not have seen this growth that occurred. And that's why I want you to know that the first number of months on KDP can be really hard. You may or may not get to this level of income in your first year. We're all on different journeys. But what is important is that you don't focus on the results of others. You focus on your own results, because you can reflect on how you're creating your books and the different niches that you're getting into. And I think my biggest error when I first started in the first 3 to 6 months was I was focusing on niches that were way too competitive. Then I changed my mindset. I changed my goals, and then things started to happen for me. And that's what this course will be about teaching everything I know to help you reach this journey. So I hope this has provided some comfort, and it's also some assurity knowing that if you stick with it, you will, or you can, get the results that you really strive to get. Don't give up. Keep evolving, keep learning, and ensure that whatever you do, don't let yourself fall into the trap of thinking that it's all too hard, because you just don't know when things are going to start happening for you. So I hope you enjoyed the video about my journey. Welcome to the next lesson regarding the creation of your book descriptions. Now, the creation process or the formatting process is really critical because when customers land on your book page, they need to be able to see what it contains and how it solves their problem. So let's go on to the key things you need to know when you're creating and formatting your book description. So these are the key tips for book descriptions. Now, this lesson is more going to be about the formatting side of things, but let me introduce you to the key tips as we go through it. So firstly, your description must be grammar error free. You need to ensure that you use software programs if you have them accessible to you. There is a program called Grammarly.com. You can use a free version of Grammarly, or you can upgrade to the pro version of Grammarly, and I'll leave the link in the description of this lesson. When you create your description, the grammar element is very important, because if customers see errors in the way that your spelling or your grammatical side of things as part of your book description is incorrect, then they are unlikely to follow through and purchase, because they'll think that or those spelling errors may also occur in other elements of your book. Secondly, include a strong heading. The heading will draw customers in, and that's what they're going to be looking at and drawing their attention in from the very start. So you need to have that strong heading, and we're going to look at a couple of examples soon. Next thing is include key product features of the book. So that allows your customer to see a little bit more inside your book about the size of the book, the pages of the book, and other key features, and also that it's well formatted. And I'm going to show you some tools that you can use, some free tools, to format your book description. So when it does get uploaded to Amazon KDP, it's going to look really nice. So let's get into that, and also be showing you that free formatting tool to use via Kindlepreneur as well. So let's get into the lesson now. And I just picked this book out, and it is a bestseller, so the description must be capturing the attention of those that read it. Let's look at the headline. Are you looking for a fun workbook to help you teach your child to write? Then you're in the right place. Take your child on an exciting journey through the entire ABC and all the numbers from 0 to 30. With a letter and number tracing book for kids aged 3 to 5, a fun practice book, you can read the rest. Then they go into information about the book. Then they've got a subheading here about letters, another subheading here about numbers. So letters and then numbers. Then they go into important features, little dot points. So a quick look at the most important facts of the book. So down like that. And then they've got another big section here about get this book now. And it covers everything that a customer might want. Because then if they go, look, that looks pretty good, they then go to the look inside feature and they scroll down and they see it's got some nice colorful things there, nice and easy to create. And people can easily see their child writing in this book, and it gives you examples of what the back looks like as well. And they're the kind of things you need to work on hard for your description. Now, if we were to, I just want to show you how you could format this. If you were just to have a Word document version of this, let me put that on a Word document, get rid of all this formatting, and I'll show you how we can actually format it. And so I'll just put it on a Word document. Let's copy this whole thing. Let's go and we'll just do normal. Let's reduce everything here, including the size. Let's make it all that. Let's get rid of all the bold. Let's make sure it's all like that. So if you had just written this up and you're thinking, how can I get it to be looking like this? So that you actually got the big bold and the dot points, because you can't necessarily just place them on there. So there's two different options. If we were to grab this, we could go straight to, when you're loading your book up to KDP, it does give you a basic feature to be able to add these elements, but there's another one that I'll show you right now. And it's on a site called kindlepreneur.com, and you just go to the section in regards to book description generator. Now it will give me an error message to start with, which I always get. Let's get rid of this. And it'll come up, and it may default back again, but if we wanted to make that a bit bolder, we can make it bold, or we can add a heading, and if we scroll down, we can make that bold as well, and we can scroll down and make that bold as well. And then if we wanted these, so that might be italic or bold, then if we go down here, we can do this. We can go down a bit further, sorry. And we can make these into dot points, bullet points, and you might want to capitalize something, or you might want to make that bold as well. So we scroll up. Then what we would do is we would generate the code that gives us an HTML code. And now you could put that, if you did that all that, and you just want to put that, if you want to put that in this bit just here, then what we're going to do, we just want to see what this actually looks like. So I'll take you to one other site to show you. It's called a Blurb. And so I would put that in, the code that we just had, and then we'll bring it up to what we wanted. Now, if you wanted to, you could make this a number 3 to make it a little bit bigger, or a number 2, and it makes it even a little bit bigger again. So that is a great way of being able to create the HTML code and be able to see exactly what it looks like. So then we would simply copy that, because we know what it looks like. We would delete that one, and we would have that ready to go. So when we load our book to Amazon, we have got the information ready to go. And the most important thing is to make sure it stands out. So if we were to scroll down and we were to have a look at this book just here, let's just see the cover doesn't really stand out. It's ranked very, very high. Doesn't have any customer reviews. I'd almost do it at $6.99 rather than $7. It was released then. So if we go down, it looks like it's almost copied the one that we've just done. So be very, very careful not to do that yourself. That isn't the way that you should be creating original ones as well. If we were to go to this one just here, let's have a look at this and see whether, so this one is the example where they just haven't put enough effort into the description. They've done it all just in bold. There's no dot points and there's no sales. Oh, there's probably one or two sales. There's no customer reviews. And that's a perfect example of not really making a description stand out. They may initially like that cover potentially, but they didn't do much effort with the description, which means that they've gone to the effort of creating the book, but they're not really selling it from the description point of view. That is an important element. Get the cover right, get the description right, and then you want them to click buy now. And that is the main thing about your description, and ensuring that you make it grammatical free and that you're using the different elements to make it formatted so it looks really nice and professional. So I hope you liked that information about descriptions and how to format them and create them correctly. Welcome to this lesson from the Publishing Accelerator, Marketing Your Book to Sell. The next few lessons are going to be discussing different ways you can market your book, because when you create your book and then you upload it and you launch it, that is about the 50% mark. And that's why it's important to make sure that you keep the pedal to the metal, keep accelerating, because you don't want to put all your effort into creating the book, for it not to sell because you haven't notified anyone that it actually exists. And I often hear of people that are talking about their books and not selling, and so that's what the next few lessons are going to be about. I often get asked by people about the marketing strategies that are best for your book when you actually launch it. And the next few lessons are going to be talking about the launch strategies that have helped me in regards to my books. But the question I get asked most often is, why isn't my book selling? Why haven't I've launched my book, but I haven't been able to get any sales? And my response usually is, well, tell me about your marketing. What have you done? And often I hear, well, I've launched my book and I thought Amazon would pretty much market my book for me and would float to the top. Now, as we've gone through the course, we've discussed different things about keywords, niche research, book title and subtitle creation, and all of those elements help to get your book ranking well, but it can take some time. And the first 30 days of your book, from when once it becomes live and is launched, is a really important period of time, because that's when the algorithm of Amazon decides whether your book is worthwhile putting onto page one and keeping there. And it's commonly sort of known that Amazon for the first 30 days will give your book a little bit of a kick in regards to giving a bit of a free market to see how many books it sells. And if it doesn't sell many books, then it'll naturally just start to fall away. If it is a good seller and Amazon are making money from it, they'll want to keep that book further up the listings and to promote it some more. But there's things that you can do to help to bring customers' attention to your book, to make sure it's more visible. There are free and paid methods that I'll be discussing as well. But the marketing of your book is such an important element. You spend so much time creating your book and putting your heart and soul into creating your book that for it to be loaded and to not be selling can be quite disheartening. And so I want to be able to show you a few things that you can do that can help that element of it. But just remember, if your book isn't selling, you need to ask, well, what have I done to make sure customers know about my book? And if you haven't done anything at all apart from push load or make it, upload the book to KDP, unfortunately, that's not quite enough. And as the landscape of KDP changes and more people load books up, at the present time, there's about 45 million books on KDP Amazon. So you need to make sure your book stands out. And just putting your book onto Amazon isn't probably going to be enough as we move forward to make sure that people get eyeballs on your book. So let's go through a few of these different methods in the next few lessons of things you can do directly within your account and outside of your account as well in regards to the marketing, and importantly, a bit of a framework around a launch strategy that will help you. Welcome to the next lesson. This is going to be about the mindset of Amazon ads. And I wanted to discuss the mindset that you need to have and the approach you need to have regarding Amazon advertising, because it can be hard, it can be challenging. So let me discuss that right now. Before we start to get into Amazon ads, I wanted to create a short little lesson about the mindset of Amazon advertising. And it can be challenging to begin with, because when you're using Amazon ads, you need to set yourself a budget, but you're not seeing sort of the results initially, because Amazon advertising can be quite challenging when you begin. And I had those challenges. I spent maybe $300-400 US in the first month of Amazon advertising. I didn't really see any results to actually show that the spend of Amazon ads was actually worth my time and effort. But as I've seen over the journey, the importance of Amazon advertising has been critical to getting my books in the right places, for customers to actually see my books. And therefore, you need to have the mindset that when you do Amazon ads, that It really is to help rank your keywords and not necessarily a platform of generating a lot of income. Yes, eventually when you optimize your ads and you get the right keywords towards your book through Amazon advertising, then it can help with income generation. But for the first 3 months, you should look at it as a way of ranking your keywords and getting it to page number 1, hopefully, with the search suggestions, for example, when people are looking for your book. Amazon advertising has a long learning curve, and the campaigns I'm going to show you are just a simple couple of ways that you can set up your campaigns, but it's taking me well over 12 months, even 18 months, to really get a strong handle on how Amazon advertising works, the methods that is helping me to grow my publishing and my books. But the way that you need to approach it is that you set your budget, and if you spend your budget and you come out cost neutral, then that's actually a good result. Because Amazon advertising, you're always in competition with other publishers or other authors that are what they could. You're actually in a bidding system, and so when you're bidding for different keywords, that could start to go up a fair bit. And if you've got a book that doesn't have, or might have a great cover, and a customer will click on your book cover, well, you will pay for that keyword that you've obviously bidded for. But then if the customer doesn't purchase the book after reading your description, then you still need to pay for that click. So it's really a cost per click platform. Some bids can be as low as 4 or 5 cents. Other bids can be well over $1. And so if you were to have a keyword and your bid was $1 and someone was to click on it, you would pay $1. With low and no content publishing, though, the margins on your books are usually fairly low. So if you've got your book and you're selling it, your price is about $7.99. By the time that you take out the printing costs and the Amazon 60-40 split, you might be left with $2 royalty if a book was to be purchased in without using Amazon ads. But if someone used the ad and they spent $1 just to look at it, well, you've only got $1 left. So there's only one person that's clicked on it if they don't buy it. If you've got 3 people that have bought or clicked on it after with a $1 bid, you're already negative $1. So I'd always consider just starting small with your Amazon ads. Start with the basics, get used to how they work, and then when you feel comfortable, step it up. One of the other bigger challenges that I found when I was starting is that when you get paid with Amazon advertising, it's 60 days after the end of the that month. For example, if you were publishing books and you sold heaps in December, then you wouldn't be paid until the end of February for your December books. But in the meantime, you might have been marketing during January and February or even December for your books, but you need to pay for your marketing every 30 days. So there's a lag between the money you have to have outgoings towards Amazon ads and the income that you get from your books. So that was my challenge, that I was already down about $700 from Amazon advertising the first 2 months, and I hadn't received any royalties for my books because the royalties don't get paid for 60 days following the end of that month. So that's just something to take in consideration. Remember, just start small or test a few things to begin with. As you get more confidence, then start to increase the amount of campaigns you have. But just pick a few of your best books and just try a few different things. But remember, it's not just the US market you can try Amazon advertising on. You can also try it on any of the other platforms like the UK, like Canada, even Australia. And I've found some of my most successful campaigns have been in the UK, Canada, and Australia, and not the US, because the US market is so competitive regarding Amazon advertising. So just let me finish with this. The key point is have a budget, try and stick to it. Start with some basic ads to get used to the platform. Build up as you get more experience. maybe use one of your better books that might be selling organically to try and give it that boost. But I always find that the key to Amazon advertising is to get those keywords right and the keywords that customers are going to be searching for. That is one of the key areas that I'll be talking through as part of these Amazon advertising campaigns and strategies. So I hope that gives you a bit of a framework around Amazon advertising. It is a great platform because it gets straight to the customer, and that's what I do love about it. But remember to get your mindset knowing that yes, it's going to cost you some money, but it's an investment into your books and an investment for the long term. The investment that you put in at the start will hopefully pay off for you over the long term as your books get ranked better, get better customer reviews, more sales. Amazon love that, and they'll float that book to the top naturally after that. So I'll get onto the Amazon ads now. And welcome to this lesson. It's an introduction to Amazon advertising. And Amazon advertising is a critical area that we probably find the most challenging. For anyone that's gone into Amazon advertising before and tried it, it is something that takes a long time to try and master. And I don't think you can probably ever master it. You can just get better at it and find better ways of being able to advertise with Amazon advertising. And the hard thing about Amazon advertising is that it keeps on changing as well. And so what you think one technique might work to start with may not necessarily work, 4 or 5 months down the track. So I'm going to try and give you a really good, strong overview of Amazon advertising, what it is, how it works, and some techniques that I use. So in the next few lessons, you'll be seeing a lot more about Amazon advertising and how I use it to my advantage to sell more books and to get more exposure across all of my portfolio. So let's get into it now. So to begin with, let me identify the key points. Ads, we'll just call them ads short for advertising through AMS. Ads can significantly boost your chances to rank your keywords. When you advertise, the keywords that you use can be boosted by using Amazon ads because you're getting more sales. The relevance of your keywords for your book is improved. And when you start generating more sales, the algorithm of Amazon likes that. The more money you can make for Amazon, the more exposure you're going to be able to get through them as well. So that's one key thing. Next key point. Amazon have many marketplaces in the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, and Germany, just to name a few, but each require a separate account for you to create. You can't just sign on with your Amazon US account and then be able to advertise in Germany, for example. You would need to add your payment details and go through the process each time. And yes, it can be painful, but once it's set up, then you can advertise across those markets. And I tend to market my books mainly in these, in the US, UK, Canada, and Australia. I've had a few books in Germany that I've translated, but it's something I've still got to look further into and explore. But mainly I get really good sales out of the UK and Canada because it's less competitive. Australia's a growing market, and the US, I do get plenty of sales out of the US market, but is the most expensive, and that can sometimes be hard to sort of push into that market. As I mentioned, the US is by far the most competitive market, and you'll be paying the most as well. And Amazon advertising is a competitive landscape because you're bidding against other authors to get your book to be shown. So because it is the most competitive market, it's the most expensive. That's why I always encourage people, if they're starting out in Amazon advertising, maybe explore Canada to start with, because it's going to be a lot more affordable for you just to test the market and test the different campaigns that you want to run with your book. Now, if your book is no good, Amazon ads will not solve that problem. So that's one of the areas I'm going to be covering across these lessons, is that you have to get your cover right and your description right. And also the interior with a look inside All those elements need to come together to make it work for you. Because if you don't have a good book cover, then it doesn't, just because you're running ads to it doesn't mean that people are going to click on it and buy it. And then if you have a great cover, but you don't have a very good description, people might click on it and you pay for every time someone clicks on your book, but then they won't proceed to buy it because they don't like the description. So that's one key area. Ongoing maintenance of your campaigns is important to optimize and avoid overspending. And it's not one of those methods where you can put the ad up or create the campaign and just leave it run, because it'll end up burning up a whole heap of cash. And you just need to make sure that once you've loaded it and it's running, then you might need to give it a few days, and then what we call is optimizing it, where we're eliminating those keywords that they might be getting clicks but not converting, or what you're doing is you're increasing your chances of being seen through keywords that are working well for you. So they're just a couple of key points that I wanted to highlight about Amazon ads to begin with. And so this brings us on to the next point. Why would you use Amazon ads? Well, they can drive initial sales, and that is really important in the first 30 days. The more sales you get, the better ranking you'll get, and the better momentum you get. Your ads can increase the relevance of your keywords due to the fact you're getting more sales, and therefore the algorithm likes that, so that will give the boost. Amazon ads increases reviews due to the sales. So if you're getting sales through your Amazon ads, then hopefully you start to get reviews from your books, and that can actually then, the social proof then increases as well. And Amazon ads, it is marketing that is direct to the Amazon customer. So very rarely do you get the opportunity where if a customer is on the platform of Amazon, you know they're either browsing or they're looking to buy. If you're advertising directly to them and it's right in front of them, then that's a great platform to be able to get your book. It's not like it might be, for example, if you ran a Google ad or ran a Facebook ad, someone would have to jump onto another platform like Facebook, then they'd have to click on your link, then they'd have to have an Amazon account as well, then they would need to go in, and then they'd need to scroll through the books. And so there's a lot of different steps, but with Amazon ads, they're right in, they're on the platform and they're ready to buy, hopefully. And so that's one of the direct benefits of using Amazon ads. So let me run through some terminology and metrics for Amazon advertising. So when we're doing our campaigns, we get what we call impressions. Now, an impression is when your ad is displayed to the customer. So if they're just scrolling through, then that is what they call an impression. A click is when a customer clicks on your advertisement. And I'm going to show you in a moment what that might look like. Actually, I'll show you quickly now on Amazon what a sponsored ad looks like and what, say, an impression or a click might look like. So let's do that right now. So if I was to jump onto Amazon and I was a customer and I thought I just want a maze activity book for my youngest daughter, then you would obviously type in something like this. Then if you're scrolling down, you see what it says sponsored. That means that person is advertising on Amazon ads, and they will appear at the top if they are the top bidder. This is also another way you can advertise with sponsored brands, and that's when you start to get more books as part of your collection. So if you go down further, this is a sponsored ad as well. So usually you have a couple of sponsored ads to begin with. If we keep going down, because that's a good cover, it's like a jungle theme, so that's obviously selling very, very well. Scroll down further, got the holiday toy list banner there, that's a new one, and then there's even these ones as well. These are lock screen advertising, can be very, very expensive. You can see sponsored, and then you keep going down further here as well. And usually down near the bottom, here's another one, sponsored too. So this person's put bids in for their keywords to appear, and or for their book to appear as well. So that's that's what we call their sponsored ads, and customers don't even really notice that as well. And when we're advertising, we obviously want the prime spot at the top. So even though this is ranked 331,000 and this is 898, this one is appearing at the top. But just be mindful that these authors are spending money each time there's a click on it. So just do the right thing by them and don't go clicking on their ads, because that's just an unethical practice that you just want to avoid. You'll see this book further down if you really did want to look at it. So for example, this one's sponsored, but if you want to look at it, this one's not sponsored here. So we can click on that book there, and then we can have a look inside it if you did want to have a look. And you can scroll down, and this person has got some videos which are super important. If you can get videos from reviews, that will be a really big boost to your book sales as well. And then there's photos here too. So that's a key area in regards to an understanding initially of what Amazon ads look like on the actual platform itself. But let's go back to the presentation. So when we're looking at the terminology again, and I'll show you soon, but the CTR equals the click-through rate. CPC is cost per click. Sales, obviously the total revenue generated from ads. And an important one, ACOS. ACOS is the advertising cost of sales. And it's a really important metric when it comes to understanding the performance of your advertising. So it's the ratio that lets you know how efficient your ads are. It's basically spend divided by sales. Let's have a look at a screenshot of my dashboard to just go through a few of these metrics so I can show you exactly what they mean. So if we have a look at my platform here, this is marketing in the UK. So you can see my spend, then I've got the sales that I've generated. These are the impressions, so the number of times my books have been seen by customers, not necessarily that they've actually paused and looked at them, they might have scrolled past it. The order number, so the number of books that have been purchased during this range of period, and then the ACOS. So that is the percentage, the lower the percentage, the better. So you don't want a high ACOS, you want as low as possible. It means that you've got the most efficient sales if you can get this ACOS low. And I aim for under 25%, under 30%, but I'll go into more detail soon. Let's have a look at these metrics. So the impressions here, so the book would be listed here, and then you've got your metrics as well. So you've got the clicks, so the number of clicks that I've had on that book. The CTR is listed at 0.40%. I don't really take much notice of the click-through rate, but I do know that if you can get your click-through rate, as again under 1, then that's a good result. And actually, sorry, if you can get your result as your percentage as high as you can, that's the best result, because it means that every time someone views your book, that 2% of the time, 2.3% of the time, someone sees my book and they click on it, which is great. So that's what you're aiming for. And for example, 1.5% of the time someone sees it, and then the cost per click is 22, that's pence, not dollars in this one. 58 orders, I've got £498 worth of sales, and I've got an ACOS of 19.47. So remember, you've got to take away your spend from your sales to get your profit as well. So they're just considerations that you need to consider. That's why it's really good to have that ACOS as low as you can. Now, when you're on the dashboard, you can change the date range as well. And there's also a tab where you can click. So the columns, these are the columns you've got all the way down here, and you can tick or untick what columns you wish to see. But I tend to like to have the clicks, the spend, the cost per click, the orders, sales, and ACOS. They're typically what I like to see. And also you get a bit of an idea about how many times your ad's been seen by the impressions as well. So that's a bit of a look at the advertising on dashboard and what that looks like. But let's just cover a couple of more things before we get into the lessons about setting up your campaigns as well. Now, to register for Amazon advertising, I've left the link up the top here, but I'll also put it in the description notes. But if you visit the advertising Amazon register, then you can just register for Amazon ads. You click on the country you wish to advertise, and then you can complete the information. And that would include your tax information or your billing information as well. It's quite easy to set up, but I'll leave this link in the description. And the next thing I wanted to show you is that Amazon do have tutorials as well that you can watch to help you with setting up campaigns and things like that as well, which can be very, very helpful. Let me just show you what that page looks like. And this is the Amazon ad tutorials. So it's called learningconsole.amazonadvertising.com /student/catalog. And you can actually go into Sponsored Ads Bootcamp. You can learn about Amazon ad types and placements, targeting your sponsored ad campaign. So they do try and help you in regards to setting up the campaigns and what to look for. And there are some really good tutorials in this console that you can use as well. So I'm hoping that this helped with an introduction to Amazon ads. There'll be a lot more information I'll be sharing soon across the lessons for Amazon advertising, but I wanted to give you a base learning opportunity to know the importance of Amazon advertising, some of the key tips, and then how to register to actually market your book as well. So let's get into the next lesson in a moment. Welcome to this lesson. It's about getting reports and data from your Amazon campaigns. It's going to be a short lesson, but I think it's important to know how you can get the reports and generate them so you can get that extra data for your keywords and for future campaigns as well. So if you were to log into your console, then what you would do to go to this icon here, and what we're looking for is to try and download reports that help us to get more keywords that might be gaining traction from the customers that are purchasing them. So what we do, we go to that tab reports. Then what we do, we create a report just up here, and you can do a search for a particular time. And so we leave it at sponsored products. We do search term, we do a summary, and let's just we'll do back here. We'll go back to, actually, we'll do from the 26th of September until, let's just go the 23rd of October. Then what we do is, actually, what we might do, oh yes, we'll leave it at that. Then we go save. Then we can change the name, so we might just call it our Publisher Excel. And then what we do, recipients, you can leave like that, schedule now. So what we do, we run report. And I've found that sometimes it's going to be hold pending. So what I do is I just go refresh, and then it should give us the download button. So now it says it's completed. I go to the boxes here and we click the download. This will now bring us up a spreadsheet that we can then click on and download. And now this brings up all of our different campaigns. So what you can do is use this to filter all the different keywords. So I would normally scroll across here, and I would go to the 14-day orders, enable editing, and we go data and filter, and then we might do, I'd get rid of those. We might do any keywords with more than 2 sales or 2 orders. So we do that. Then what this does is it brings about how that actual keyword's performing. So this keyword had 2 orders, an ACOS of 3.94. This keyword, for example, had 2 sales, but the ACOS was 45. This one had 7 sales at 6.43% ACOS, which is fantastic. So I would then look at that keyword and so I'd scroll across and get the keyword. And then what I'd do is I'd start to then work at adding that exact keyword into any further campaigns moving forward. So that's sort of how the report system works. You can actually set it up to get it monthly as well, which is a great way of doing it. And then by getting it monthly, it actually helps you just to make sure you're on top of any keyword. So create report, and you can do the period of time, but now you can do recurring. So you might say, look, I want it monthly, and I want to receive it every month, but it's going to be finishing, we'll just say the end of 2022, for example, or end of November, and you click it there, and then that'll send you the report every month until November 1st, 2022, and it just comes directly to your email. So you just got to put your email address in, and that will really help. And you can just do different terms as well and dates as well, what will help you. You can also do targeting, different campaigns, performance over time. So there's a number of different reports, but I just tend to use the search term report and use sponsored products. If you do sponsored brands advertising, you can do it that way, but for most that are doing KDP, they use sponsored products. And you can schedule a report up there as well. So that's how you generate a report for Amazon advertising, and that will just help you to get those keywords that are working really well and to create more scaled campaigns. So you might just extract those keywords that are doing really well, create a new campaign, and you would add maybe 7 or 8 keywords to perform exceptionally well, and then you can put those in the campaign. So that is how you generate reports for Amazon advertising. So in the next few lessons as part of this section, I'm going to be introducing you to different software that I've used to really scale up my business, my publishing business. But I also just want to briefly talk about the other opportunities that are available to you when you do self-publish, because just publishing on KDP alone is one avenue that you can do when you get started. But I've found that if I can look at other ways of being able to use my publishing skills to help other people, then it's really accelerated things. So I've worked in partnership with a few different people to create books and resources that might help their businesses. And I've also created different content, such as my YouTube channel, this course, where I've used my experience from publishing and I've been able to expand that to bigger things. I've also done book publishing coaching as well, which is another avenue you can look at maybe down the track when you become more experienced. But there are so many different things that you can do that you can use your experience from publishing to help expand into different areas. So the software that I'm about to introduce you to are just a few things that can help with your scaling of your business, but also start to think of extra things you can be doing that might be able to also help. You could also approach a local school or a local preschool or kindergarten about providing resources for those students, and you could work directly with them. There might be a big business that needs a journal or needs some sort of business activity logbook that they could use annually, or it might be monthly, every 3 months, 6 monthly. And if you're the supplier of that book through your publishing, then that gives you a great opportunity. And I'm also going to introduce you to IngramSpark, who's another publishing group that has global distribution across the world. And I've used them for pretty much the last 2 years and have had some excellent success by using them and not just rely on KDP. So let me get into the next lessons to talk about other software and other platforms that I've used to scale my business. Now, I hope you like the inside look at some of the lessons of the Publishing Accelerator. Now, for those of you that are stuck around right to the end, then I'm going to look at giving you even a further discount to what I'm offering in the description. Now, if you're to write, give me 12, then you'll get 12% off the course. Now, it's all one word and lowercase. Give me 12, as in the number 12. Give me 12. I will organize that discount link. So if you go to the checkout and you write give me 12 in the discount code as part of when you purchase a course, you'll get a special 12% discount rather than the 10%. So it's an extra few dollars saving, which is great. And that's just by watching to the end of this video. So thanks again. I hope you enjoyed the content as part of the Publishing Accelerator and the look inside of this course. And so I look forward to having you as a student as part of the Publishing Accelerator.